indeed! It is out of here! 7:56. Bond stands alone. Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining, and they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Taproom Sports, a sports podcast unlike any other podcast around. That's right, because it's about two of the greatest things on this planet, and that's sports and beer. I'm your host, Jordan. Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. Lats, here as always with my boy, Mr. Big Ballin' Ben Larson. What's going on tonight, Ben?
Not much, man. Been a long, busy weekend. I can't believe the weekend is over. But hey, it is what it is.
That's what she
We
said.
had a great weekend of sports, so I can't complain much.
Yes.
But it is going to be a little rough going into the office. So,
Of course.
gotta do it, but
Of course,
gotta
man.
pay the bills. I'd
That's-
rather be sitting at home watching sports.
That's
Not gonna
right.
lie.
And if you want to help us pay our bills, go to Tavour.com or download the Tavour app straight to your mobile device and use promo code TAPROOM for $10 off your first purchase of $25 or more.
Let's go, y'all!
There it is.
That was a
Shit, hit
perfect
our-
segue.
Hit our Cash App, hit our PayPal, just like come Venmo, just bring it all in. Bring it all in.
I mean, honestly, if you really want to help us out, just share the podcast, like it, subscribe, YouTube, Facebook. I mean, the more listeners we get, the better it is for us and the more content we can put out. So we appreciate y'all for locking in with us.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, man. Other than going back to work tomorrow, Ben, how was your weekend?
It was good, man. Definitely good. Busy as all hell. But it cooled down a little bit from our 97-degree day the other, I think it was Thursday.
Yeah, I see you're
So,
wearing a hoodie right there.
I am wearing a hoodie. It's cold as shit out here right now. But
Wish it was cold out here.
yeah, but man, baseball's back, which just makes me a
Yes.
happy person. So I, with a shitty hockey team right now, nothing's really kind of crazy in the Bay Area sports world other than baseball being back. I mean,
Yep.
of course, Warriors,
Warriors.
but it's kind of in that medium, with Steph out.
Playoffs
getting
about
ready
to
for the-
start though, Ben,
Yep,
this week.
Getting ready, yeah, and it's not been determined if he's going to play game 1. So it's a little worrisome for the Warriors here, but we'll see. He'll be good eventually and come back in the middle of that series. Just hopefully it's not too late. But
Yep.
they're in a good spot at that 3 spot, so I can't complain too much there. How's your weekend?
Man, weekend was great. The UFC event, UFC pay-per-view 173 last night, or 273, sorry. It was all right. Outside of the Chimaev fight, though, it was kind of fucking boring. It was whatever. But baseball's back in full swing, and I was killing baseball bets this weekend until today. Today I had a bad day. Had a 1-3 day. But that's okay. That's how it goes, There's
Still hit one.
Yeah, I hit one.
That's a good thing. Yep.
Hit one. But yeah, man, dude, it was a awesome weekend of baseball. Basketball's wrapping up. Well, it is wrapped up as of tonight.
Yep.
Playoffs are starting. So just excited to be here tonight. You've got a dope show on deck. A lot to talk about. Masters recap. Just a ton. And of course, we are drinking some beautiful, beautiful beer.
Yep. Yeah, so for everybody who hasn't checked into the podcast yet, or as a reminder for everybody who has, we love beer just as much as we love sports, and we want you to kind of hear that love, and kind of get out there and have as much passion as we do for it. So we're going to be drinking and reviewing a couple beers per podcast. Usually it's 2. and kind of letting you know what we think about these beers, whether we will like it, whether we recommend it, or if it's a pour out beer. And unfortunately, it's okay to have those pour out beers. That's just something to put up on your list of either I don't like this style, or maybe this brewery isn't the right brewery for me. But really are appreciative that you guys are out there going and supporting your local breweries, local bottle shops. Just get out there, change things up, maybe try something you previously didn't like, and just kind of keep an open mind in the brew world, because it's changing like crazy. And to be honest, we just want you to get out there and support your local brewers. So it's a big thing. We're going to be drinking 2 beers. We're going to start off with a special beer, and then we're going to both end it off with the same type of beer at the end of the podcast. So Jordan, what's your first one for the night?
My first beer for the night is it's the Mirabelle Tilquin of Concy. I cannot read that, of something. It's a traditional Belgian lambic ale brewed with Mirabelle plums.
Okay, so
you and I actually split this one before, so I have drank in this
Okay.
beer. But
Oh, I do remember that one.
I had another one and I gotta drink it before it goes bad. So I was
Yep.
like, dude, I gotta drink it tonight. So I'm
Oh, yeah.
drinking that one, man. It is a great beer. Like I said, I've drinking it before. It's tardy. It's got a sweet taste to it. It's a wonderful beer.
What's the percentage on that?
7%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
sir.
good hearty beer there. So I'm going with a 5%er tonight, and this one is coming from Chapman Crafted Beer, and this is out of Orange, California, so down south a little bit from us. And this is called Absolutely Pog, and it's a passion orange guava Berliner Weiss. So it's just a nice kind of
Oh yeah.
subtle can art that is kind of just caught my eye. I do love Pogs, so I do go after those fairly frequently in that. But the beer is pretty clear. I'm
Oh
definitely
yeah.
don't mind my Sierra Nevada glass, but it's pretty clear for a Berliner Weiss, that at least the ones that I've been seeing. So I'm interested to taste this one. I've sipped it. I've taken one sip, and it definitely has that passion orange guava. So I'm interested to see how it warms up a little bit. And we'll touch on the mouthfeel, the taste, the aroma, the look of it, everything at the end of the podcast.
That's what she said.
Nice.
Damn straight.
Let's hop into the sports, man. And first sport we really got to talk about, since it's opening weekend, is Major League Baseball. It's back.
Yep.
Before we talk about some teams, though, I wanted to really touch on kind of some new things going on with baseball. Like, I don't know if you watched any of the national broadcast games, but on Apple TV on Friday, which is another thing I want to talk about, Apple TV Plus. But they were interviewing players. They were mic'd up during the game.
Yep.
First time it's really ever been done outside of the All-Star game. Like, what's your thoughts on that? I was watching the Red Sox Yankees game tonight, and they had Kiki Hernandez, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've definitely seen this before, even in game, as players are, fielding the ball, they're, talking to the announcers here. And
But they've only done it in All-Star games, though.
No, we've seen it in regular season, and I don't want to say postseason, but we've seen it in regular season. I
Really?
definitely have.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But I like it. I definitely like it. It gives you kind of an inside look of what the players are thinking, how focused they are, and how unfocused they are. Because there's some that have no problem being talking, just kind of shooting the shit with the announcers while they're in game, and just have that kind of mental fortitude that you can get a ball hit to you and exactly what you're doing, because it's so kind of ingrained in your mind as an
Yep.
outfielder. Obviously they're not going to be able to bat with it because you're so focused on rotations, how the ball's coming in, where it's coming in from.
Yeah.
But I love it. It gives you a better insight of the game on what they're thinking of in the moment, compared to these end of game interviews where it was like, what happened 2.5 hours ago? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I hit the ball well. I was looking for that pitch. Like,
Yeah.
no, Like you get that automatic like, yeah, that shit was crazy. Like I didn't know that I was, going to be able to top that ball or, hit that opposite way because I saw the shift going. Like
Right.
you get that kind of in the moment. So I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, dude. I thought it was awesome. I know a lot of like old timers that are afraid of progressing the game forward. They're kind of like, oh, like why are we doing interviews in the middle of the game? Like this is a sport. It's just like, dude, I thought it was great, especially for like younger players who may not understand the game, especially like what Kiki did. He was like, if Rizzo gets a base hit, my first instinct is to not allow him to get to second base. And he was saying that, and then Rizzo hits it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was crazy just how it was timed. But I mean, like, there's a lot of younger players, that are playing little league ball that don't understand that part of the game yet. And that's like hearing a big leaguer say that could like just, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like just allow them to open their doorways, dude, to baseball where they just understand the game more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought it was awesome. What was your thoughts on opening weekend? What's like your biggest surprises? Either good or bad. I mean, it's only 3 games in. We got 159 games left. 4 games for some teams, but still, I mean, I thought there was some teams that I was surprised about.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about just like the teams in general or the players or both?
Teams, players. I mean, what's the biggest thing to you? Like,
I mean, biggest thing
what
right
stood
now
out?
is biggest thing is Dodgers came off slow.
Yeah.
Coming out of the gate, 4-run differential within 3 games. I mean, again, I know it's 3 games into the season, but they looked like they kind of had a slow start there. I wouldn't have expected the Rockies to win a series against the Dodgers all season. I know again that's going to change, as they get more settled into non-preseason games, but I was very surprised about that. The Red Sox and Orioles being 0 so far. Didn't necessarily.
Well, the Red Sox
kinda
won
see-
tonight.
Oh, did they win tonight?
Yeah, they won.
Why
4
did
to
my
3.
page not refresh?
Are you on Baseball Reference?
No, it was on ESPN. Oh, there we go. Now I guess I had to refresh my page. Orioles being 0-3 does not surprise me one bit, not at all. And I think it's just going to be a really sad year for them again. Such a young team, such a low kind of cap that the ownership didn't really spend much on this team, and it shows, and it's gonna show.
Yeah.
Angels coming out of the gate 1-3 after their super hot preseason, kind of surprises me. Granted, Houston
Told you,
was,
Ben can't
their
put
opponent.
too much into spring training.
Yeah, but you gotta take the flow of spring training in there. Especially with the way that they were hitting, but as a team they didn't look great at all. So a little bit surprised about that. So that's kind of my teams wise.
So
Before we go into players, what do you think about like kind of teams in general?
I mean, the thing that I noticed the most, and especially coming off like previewing the teams and talking about over under win totals, like a lot of the teams that we talked about, I'm gonna use the Mariners for example. Like, I know it's only 3 games, dude. I don't want to like overreact, but we're gonna react to the first 3 games and judge it as the first 3 games. But I know they're 2-1, but they came out the gate and they have the same exact issues that they had last season. You know what I mean? Like, they can't hit with runners in scoring position. They really struggled to hit, period. And to win 90 plus games again the way they won, which was not good hitting and basically pitching, and their bullpen got worse. I like the under on them, and I kind of showed me that my handicap through 3 games was pretty accurate. Could change for sure, right?
Yeah.
But that's one team that had similar issues. The Dodgers struggling, obviously, that's huge, especially in Coors Field. Both first games went under. They were not high-scoring games. And the Dodgers, obviously, like, it's only 3 games, but this is an all-star lineup, like one of the best lineups we've arguably ever seen in our lives. And, for Freeman to be struggling and Mookie to be struggling, like basically all their high-paying guys struggling right out the gate, that's a little rough, man. It's a little rough if you're a Dodgers fan, but obviously they'll get together. And then the Brewers, Ben.
Yeah. Yep.
What were you going to say about the Dodgers, though?
Going back to your point with the Dodgers and Freddie Freeman, like, look at what Matt Olson's doing right now. In his 4 games, he's had 14 at-bats, 8 hits, batting .571.
Yep.
And, you see, that trade is gonna be something that's under a very, very, very fine-tooth comb or under a microscope, and everybody's gonna look at that with a fine-tooth comb. I got to get my metaphors right there.
Well, I mean, even Freddie Freeman playing in Los Angeles is gonna put him under a microscope, dude. He's playing in the second largest market in America, so obviously he's gonna have a little spotlight on him regardless, which only basically blows up their 3-game stretch here. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's the first 3 games, but it's like this is a team everybody predicted to win over 100 games. And to get off to a 1-2 start against the Rockies, who most people had, it's one of the worst teams.
Yep,
it's not a good look.
It's surprising.
Yeah,
it is definitely surprising.
But I also want to touch on the Brewers too, because the Brewers, they had the top 3 starters in the National League last year, and all 3 guys fucking kind of got shelled this weekend, dude.
Yeah,
which is kind of surprising. 6.12 ERA is the team through the first 3 games against a Cubs team that, a lot of people didn't expect to be good this year.
Yep. Yeah. And, 5-4 or 5-4 for, 2 of those games, so, and 9-0 for the other. So they were outscored 18-9 there. Yeah. And that's, that's a hard way to put up your pitching numbers.
Yep. And I talked about issues from last year, and again, the Brewers, I mean, their starting pitching we didn't expect to be this bad, but they couldn't hit for shit for most of that series. They batted .207 in the series. I mean, that's not going to get it done.
No, not at all. And it is nice to actually see teams with 300, I mean, really even plus over 250 batting.
I mean, the Blue Jays were raking. See at the
start of last season. So
Blue Jays were raking. We expected that. The Mets got off to a good start.
Cardinals, Rays.
The whatchamacallit, the Nationals are gonna be very bad. They're gonna be a bad team this year. The Guardians, dude, like, they couldn't hit the first 2 games and they put up 19 runs today.
Yeah.
Like, or 17 runs. Like, what's going on, dude? Like, they couldn't even muster any hits the first 2 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple teams that are pretty low that I'm surprised about. My Giants being one of them, Kansas City, being another, Red Sox not hitting well, Yankees not hitting well. There's 10 sub 200 teams, and I mean, granted, I don't think that's going to last.
The A's are over 200.
A's are not over 200.
They're hitting 202. 3 games, 202.
I see them. What? I guess ESPN hasn't updated today's stats, which is why my numbers are off. So.
But the Giants are under 200. They're batting 183 as a team. Tigers 185. Red Sox 186. That's even after a win tonight, too.
Yep. Yeah.
Royals 191. Nationals 164. Diamondbacks 129, Ben.
Sheesh. That's bad.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, one of the L's I took today, Ben.
By the Padres.
Yeah, but one of the L's I took today was I picked the Diamondbacks money line. Obviously, it was great value, plus 154. But Blake Snell was on the mound, and last year on the road, Blake Snell was awful, dude. He had over a 7 ERA against everybody.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe the Diamondbacks will get to him. Man, they can't hit. They can't pitch. That's another team. They might be the worst team in baseball. It's the Diamondbacks, the Nationals, and the A's, dude. And the Pirates.
Yeah.
And the Orioles.
The Pirates. Yep. There's a couple of them.
But the Pirates hit
There's-
283 this weekend, Ben, in 3 games. Against the Cardinals, too.
Huh. Yeah. And Cardinals just destroyed them.
Yeah.
So,
Cardinals are going to be a good team, too.
Yep.
Player-wise,
Let's,
what stood out to you?
Player wise, I mean, I talked a little bit about Matt Olson. I got to go for my home team. I got to go with Carlos Rodon. What a gem he put up yesterday. Going against the Marlins. 12 strikeouts, huge. Most by a opening day pitcher that was just traded. So I'll definitely take that. Only 5 innings, but it was definitely a good showing and kind of something to look forward to for the Giants here.
Hold on, Ben. Can we talk about that for 1 second? Sorry, I don't mean to. The 5 inning thing, dude. I noticed I was like a trend. Like, it's been trending that way, but now it's like they don't even let you go a third time through the lineup for the most part. Like, there's so many starters, dude, that were like 4 2/3, 5 innings, 5 1/3. Like, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I bet
it's opening day though, bro. Like we talked about, like when we were going in. I know. Well, no, but we talked about this going into it with when Ohtani pitched, and we talked about how he only had 5 innings within all of preseason. So you're not going to let your number 1, number 2 pitcher go out there and
but they're stretching them out with bullpen sessions.
Yeah, but it's different when you're in game time situations. You're throwing harder than bullpen situations, than preseason games. So it doesn't surprise me that we see lower numbers. I mean, I think we had 2 pitchers go 7 innings. Gibson and Manaea.
I was gonna say, I bet I can count on my hands how many pitchers went over 6 innings this weekend.
3: Herman Marquez, Robbie Ray. Other than that, that's it.
That's pretty wild, dude. I don't care what part of the season it's in. You're telling me only 5 pitchers total went over 6 innings. 4 pitchers.
Oh, over 6 innings?
6 or more. 6 or more. 6 or more.
6 or more. We had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 pitchers go 6 or more innings.
Dude, that's not that many when you're considering there was like 90 games.
Yep, not at all.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Gibson, Ray, Manaea, Marquez, Valdez, Wainwright, Scherzer, Darvish, Bassett, Nola, Musgrove, Keller, Wright, and Logan Webb.
And all those guys are like they've been doing this a while, except for like Logan Webb, I guess, is like the one outlier. He's only been pitching for like a year or 2.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
So again, it doesn't surprise me that.
Well, I feel like it's a new trend though. Like they don't want they pull guys when they get to the 3rd time through the lineup for the most part. Like they don't.
I mean, we're gonna see. It's gonna change as their arms loosen up.
But even last year, like guys ain't going deep that much. Very few guys pitch 6, 7 innings anymore. It's very, very rare. Not very rare, but it's much more rare than it once was. Like when we were growing up.
Okay, so, I'll give you that, but I don't think it's it's gonna be like it is this first week.
Like we see teams do this strategy of starters where they pitch for like 2 innings and it's just a bullpen. Like we would have never seen
their
that.
Bullpens aren't great.
No, that's the teams that have good bullpens, like the Dodgers, the Rays. Like they go deep in their bullpen. But you always need those inning eaters to like save your bullpen, though. That's the thing. Like,
oh yeah, but you want to see 1 or 2 inning eaters out there, not 4.
No, I'm saying you need starters to eat innings so the bullpen doesn't
Gotcha.
get worn out
Yeah.
throughout the year, dude. Like you need guys that
Gotcha.
can go 6-7 and save your bullpen.
Yep.
It's interesting. What about Vlad Guerrero Jr., dude?
Yep. He had a great
Raking.
weekend. Yep. Great weekend out here. I mean, what 2 home runs, I believe. I don't have today's numbers, so
hold on, let me pull it up. All I know is that
No.
he's hitting 500.
yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Actually, I don't think he's has he hit any? I don't think he's hit any
I mean, the Blue Jays in general were just fucking hitting home runs. They had like 7 home runs this weekend.
Yeah.
Leading the league,
so 1 home run, 4 RBIs, 455.
455, dude. Are you
Doing
kidding me?
work. Absolutely doing work. Yeah. I mean, I think he should have been AL MVP last year. He he was just incredible. And I hope he has just as good of a season because I mean this kid is special.
Yeah. No, he really is, dude. He is something else, man.
Man, that Toronto team is gonna be
They got to pitch though, dude. They can't be giving up
Yeah.
fucking 10 runs a game, dude. That's gonna be difficult to overcome.
Frank Vogel has coached his final game. I mean, we kind of knew that,
we
but
knew
it just
that.
got announced.
Woo. Well, that's something we're gonna get into in a little bit, Ben.
Yep.
Absolutely. But one thing I wanted to mention, dude, because we had a couple postponed games this weekend, a few, and I've always wondered, dude, and I've always had this idea, and Major League Baseball should reach out to me. Rob Manfred, dude, you need to do some good, so you need to reach out to me. But why do they not start the season in domes and West Coast and South teams, dude? Like, I'll never understand that. Like, why do we start games in the beginning of April in fucking Minnesota without a roof?
I mean, again, they want the big hoopla. They want, people out in New York for that Boston-New York game. They could have played that game, but because there was going to be some rain, they didn't want, and it did rain its ass off on the East Coast this week. Again, something that wasn't really forecasted until the last few days, but
this happens every year. The first 3 weeks should be played in domes or on the West Coast south.
Yeah, but tell the New York Yankees, the Red Sox, I mean,
they're still going to get the same amount of home games there.
It's like, yeah, but tell them that you're going to have to wait 3 weeks before you can see your team.
I mean, I get it, but
teams aren't going to want to go on the road for that long to start off the season. Granted, again, they'll have more home games at the end, but that's a long trip.
And when you got to make up days on your days off later in the season, that's worse, dude, because those are the days you honestly need the most rest when the dog days of summer, and then you have to play extra games because you got all these rainouts.
Yeah, but
I'm here to save baseball, bro.
Already played. Like, it's they don't make you wait until the end of the season to play that game.
Sometimes, I mean, you only get like 2 days off a month, 3 days off a month, so it's like you only have a window. And if you get 5 rain delays early in the season in April, bro, you're spending like June and July. You don't even get a day off except for the All-Star break.
I'm not worried about it. I don't think teams are worried about it.
They should be.
Yeah, and you definitely can't do that to the fans. I do want to also talk about one more thing, and that's the use of the pitch calling.
Yeah.
And the mechanisms for calling a pitch. So I was definitely off on how I thought that was going to happen. I thought it was going to be like a buzzer, like you get buzzed 3 times if you want a curveball, but it's actual, like you press the button, it says slider.
It tells the pitcher.
Yeah. So the pitchers and the players have, a thing in their hat that says what the pitch is actually going to be. So there really isn't any, miscalculations of what pitch is coming in, which was going to be my biggest worry. And I like
interesting,
having, seen at least a couple games with it being used. It speeds up the game a lot. I haven't seen as many shakeoffs at all.
Yeah.
And like it's a good flow. So it's been weird seeing the catchers actually call pitches now. And it's only been 3-4 days. So
Yeah.
I like it.
No,
I definitely like
yeah,
it.
I think it definitely sped up the game. I mean, there were some games that like went like 2 hours and they were done, like,
Yeah.
and that's something that like baseball's always kind of struggled with, is like these 3.5, 4 hour games. It's like, in this day and age, not many people have 4 hours like set aside and go to a baseball game, or nor do
Yeah.
they want to do that or watch a baseball game on TV. And I think TV is honestly probably the biggest thing, because that's where a lot of the money comes from. But
Yeah.
no, I liked it. I felt it sped up the game. I thought they did a lot of good things. Oh, there we go.